Hello, hello. All right, this one's kind of a tear jerker. Not a tear jerker. I'm just kidding. Impromptu Facebook Live. Wednesdays are the nights that I'm gonna do live training. I'm thinking Wednesdays every week in this group. Let me know if you'd be up for that. I kind of dropped. I've been so busy building out the course that I haven't had a chance to really grow the group anymore. So I got to jump back on that too. So particularly tonight, I wanted to kind of jump on my soapbox. I don't know, maybe do a little motivational speaking, motivational impromptu speaker on this live. Hey Ed, how's it going, man? Yeah, so I was talking to someone else today that I've been kind of coaching, helping out, trying to offer the best assistance that I can, and he had a whole bunch of crap hit him, like hard, right? Like a whole bunch of things went wrong today, and it reminded me about like so many times where I'd start feeling like I had a foothold, and I'd be all excited and motivated, like, oh, this is going to work and everything's going to be great. And then I'd have a day like that where just everything freaking hit me like a ton of bricks. And I would just like want to die, just crawl in a corner and hide from the world. It was devastating. I'd want to quit my goal. I even considered going back to the job that I hated a few times. I'm not going to lie, several times, because sometimes things just pile up on you. That's life. But especially when you're running a business, when you're doing your thing, things definitely go wrong. You got no control over that. So I like I grew up in Alcoholics Anonymous. It's kind of funny. My dad was when I was young, he was a recovering alcoholic. So the last gosh, gotta be like 30 years now that he's been sober. But he used to take me to the Alcoholics Anonymous meetings. My mom didn't like it, but I actually gained a lot of insight as a kid with that stuff. So I have a lot of respect for addiction and people with addiction problems, because we all have addictive personalities, whether you want to admit that or not. But one of the things that they do kind of get a little preachy in the groups, but one of the pieces of advice was the Serenity Prayer. I love that. I mean, seriously, apply that. Even if you aren't religious, like apply the Serenity Prayer to your business, because it seriously works. It goes, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I'm going to repeat that because it's so mind-blowing. It takes a second for your head to get wrapped around it. But it's God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I can't change. Grant me the courage to change the things that I can, and give me the wisdom to know the difference. It's so powerful, because how often do we think that we can change something, so we put all this effort into changing it, and it's like, you can't change that, or we don't even try to change something that we very well could change. Business. This is like a business philosophy. So that Serenity Prayer, it applies to alcoholism, but use it in your business too, man, because there's so many things in business you can't change. So you're gonna be like, okay, I can't change that. You gotta change directions. If you can't change something, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change the way you feel about it. It's beautiful advice, right? Man, I'll tell you. Hey, Brian, thanks for joining, man. Yeah, you can't control everything in life. You can't. You can't control. I grew up playing soccer. This is the number one sport that I've always been into. And sometimes that ball just bounces funny. It doesn't bounce where you wanted it to. You can't control the bounce, but you can control your effort. And I can't remember which coach told me that, but that was a very powerful piece of advice, was that sometimes life will hit you, and it'll hit you hard, and you can't control that, but you can control you, and you can control how you handle that. It's powerful stuff. And that's why I talk so much about getting your mind right in the mornings. It all starts in the mornings, man. Get your mind right. The 30 Days book, by the way, if anybody does the One Funnel Away Challenge, the 30 Days book, I love that book. It's one of the coolest things. The majority of the people in that book, and not all of them, there's some of them that don't really talk about it, but the majority of everyone in that book, and they're all 7-figure businesses. Everyone, the majority of them all say, get your head right in the morning. Start your day off getting it right. It's so true. It's so true. If you don't, I've had days where I'm irritable and I fight with people just because I had to rush in the morning to do something, right? We've all dealt with those guys at work, right? We get to work and it's just somebody with a bad attitude. It's like, did you just wake up? Are you grumpy? Did you skip your morning coffee, your morning latte? Cafe. I made up that word. That's mine. Don't ever steal that. Cafe is mine. Cafe. That's Spanish, isn't it? All right, guys. I mean, this is my impromptu motivational guide. I do want to start doing live trainings in this group. Some of the stuff about lead generations and sales funnels, maybe even a Q&A once a week. Still not sure what time is good for everybody because the different time zones. And I haven't had too many interactions. What's funny about this group, though, I'm loving it because I get so much interaction from you guys in instant messenger and in DM, but like hardly any. Well, that's not true. Lately, I've been getting a lot from you guys in the comments, but I'm trying to get more of that, more interactions in the comments. Let me know what works for everybody. You know, I want to try to figure out a good time, good strategy, the way that we can do this. So obviously, whenever I start rambling like this and just repeating myself over and over again, it's time to end the impromptu live. So I really do appreciate everybody that has reached out to me, and I hope that I'm offering some value and content in the group. Be sure to take the free course offer that I'm having right now. I would really appreciate a testimonial from anybody. If I've offered any kind of coaching, any kind of benefit to you, I would really appreciate it. I use those testimonials in my sales funnel. So especially with my agency course that I'm growing out right now, I'd really appreciate some feedback. So, all right, guys, that's that. We'll talk to you later.